According to LendingTree, 36% of Americans took on holiday debt this season, an average of $1,181. That's up around 15% from 2023. If you're one of those people, we want to give you some useful tips to manage that debt. Here to help us, we've got Emily Irwin, Head of Advice for Wells Fargo. Emily, good to see you here. So if, unfortunately, everyone was trying to be in the holiday spirit, clearly here, 15% up versus 2023. You got a lot of givers, cheerful as they may be out there. Now we got some debt that we also need to pay down cheerfully. Where do you start?
Well, the first place to start, Brad, is really not to get overwhelmed by the fact that you have debt at this point. It would be completely natural and normal to live in the inertia of, I don't know what to do, and therefore I'm going to avoid this situation. Rather, what I encourage people to do is really lean into it. Lean into your finances and try to deeply understand, where am I starting from? 2, set tangible goals for your short-term debt, your long-term debt, and other recurring payments that you might have. And then 3, make a commitment to yourself right now. This is the month of resolutions. Make a commitment to yourself to have a strong balance sheet and either maintain or continue to build a strong credit score throughout the year.
So with that in mind, how can you go ahead and recognize how much you spent in 2024 and plan, dare I say, plan already for the 2025 holiday shopping season in advance?
I'm a planner. I'm already planning for 2025. So you need to start by getting organized. This can be as simple as taking all of your statements and spreading them out on your dining room table. You might want to start with a spreadsheet, or even in your mobile app. Wells Fargo has the LifeSync app, which is incredibly helpful for this type of management. And what you want to identify is, to whom do I owe money? That's the first step. Is it a credit card company? Is it a recurring payment? Is it an individual that you maybe shared an experience or gift with? 2, how much do I owe for that particular item or experience? 3, what is the due date or commitment that I've made to pay it by? And then 4, what's the applicable interest rate relating to it? And what you also want to do is not forget about the other side of the balance sheet, because while it's good to understand the debt, if you just stop there, again, you go back to that feeling of overwhelmed. What you need to understand is, what's the cash flow that's going to come in, whether it's through salary, bonuses, part-time gig work, or other income that you can generate in order to be able to support those needs and those debts that you have. And when is it going to come in?
How can people identify the best debt management strategy for themselves? We've heard about a lot of them: snowballing, avalanche, a lot of winter corollaries there. But how can somebody go through that mental practice and ultimately figure out, okay, this is going to be the best strategy for paying down debt right now?
This is a know yourself moment. You must know thyself. So if you're someone who the thought of paying 1 cent extra just makes your skin crawl, then you're probably going to want to think about the avalanche method. And that's something where, of course, you make all of your minimum payments on time, again, getting back to that building a strong credit score. And then any additional funds you have left over, you apply those to your highest interest rate principal debt. And you do that because that means that really in the long term, you're going to be paying less from a debt perspective. By contrast, if you're someone who says, I'm going to have a hard time maintaining my motivation to continue this throughout the year, I feel like this is just a crushing amount of responsibility that I have, then the snowball effect might be a better one for you. And that's where you make those minimum payments, again, on time, and then any additional funds that you have, you go ahead and you start quickly paying off your lowest principal debt. And that way you really move that off your balance sheet and you have that sense of accomplishment immediately.
Emily Irwin, thank you so much for taking the time here with us today. Some very actionable tips for our viewers out there and me.
Thank you.